Hi, my name is Whitney Strickland, and I serve as the president of the board of directors here at Action Wellness. We have a new executive director, Mary Evelyn Torres, who sweetly goes by Evelyn. She has taken on a leadership role on July 1st. We're going to spend a few minutes to get to know Evelyn better and her future plans here at the agency. Hi, Evelyn. How are you doing today?
Hi, Whitney. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you.
It's great seeing you as always. Evelyn, can you tell us a little bit about you and your upbringing and how has that shaped you into the person you are today?
Sure. I'm one of seven. I'm a 3 in the lineup, and we're also from a military family, so we traveled quite a bit. Little known fact, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay.
And I think what my family has brought to me is, especially my parents were always very hard workers, worked all their lives, and even though they worked very hard all their lives, they also struggled, especially in my early years. We struggled with poverty. We were working class. And so I've always kept that with me and know that that is what many of our clients face. But again, they also gave me perseverance and a sense of safety. I am Puerto Rican, and we went to a Spanish-speaking church. Okay. And so that was always a safe place for me, and again, taught me not only family, but of also a sense of community, and that's what I think we have here at Action Wellness.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Now, I know this role calls for some late nights and some early mornings. What motivates you to come into the office every day and do this great work?
So I've been doing HIV work now for over 20 years, and what motivates me is the people we serve. And also the staff. I am awestruck, quite frankly, by the resilience and the perseverance our clients show, despite having sometimes the worst odds in terms of living in a very poor city with a lot of structural barriers for them to get their care, and our staff who come in and do the job, which I always say, and I steal this from our former director, Kevin Burns, is coming into Action Wellness is an act of resistance. And so we come and we do our act of resistance by serving the clients we serve and the people we serve every day.
Now, being a social worker myself, with social work, you can do anything, work with any client population. When did you choose this line of work, and has anyone specific or anything inspired you to be in this field of work?
When I went away to college, first as an undergraduate, I went to Oberlin College, but I left after 3 years because I had to find myself. So I went back to work, and during that time, I had a cousin who was very close to. His name is Jaime, and he had HIV. Now, he had HIV in the early days. In the early days, they had GRID, first gay-related infectious disease, then they had ARC, AIDS-related complex. So at that point, when he got HIV, it was a death sentence. So people lived anywhere from 6 to 9 months when they were diagnosed. And I was very close to him, and I still remember those scenes that you don't see anymore, thank God, but scenes of him lying in a hospital and not being taken care of. So he really motivated me. He gave me direction in life, because after I left school the first time, I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I was kind of out there, but he gave me direction in life. So I decided to come back to school, got a social work degree from Rutgers, and in fact came to work as a case manager at Action Wellness. And it gave me a sense of purpose to try to do something, have some power, or at least to work with those around me.
So essentially, you came back home.
I came back home, and it's been great. It's been great coming back home to Action Wellness, because I started my career here in HIV as an intern, then a case manager, and then a trainer.
You have been leading the agency since July 1st. How has your past professional experiences prepared you for this role?
Well, as I said before, I was very influenced by my cousin, and I came back and got my social work degree at Rutgers and then came to work at Action Wellness. After Action Wellness, I went to work for the Division of HIV Health, and I've worked there over 20 years. And again, that has been a career dedicated to working on behalf of people with HIV. And I did a myriad of roles. And one of the things we did one of the agencies we funded was Action Wellness. So I was very aware of the good work that Action Wellness did throughout my time there. Throughout my time at DHH, I had multiple job positions. And when I left, I was the advisor to the director. And also what I've seen in my work, in my professional degree, is that HIV has become a chronic illness. And so Action Wellness is one who provides services to people with chronic illness. Our clients are still mostly people with HIV. And so HIV has gone from a death sentence really, at the beginning, to now a chronic illness where people can live, if they take their medications, can live a normal lifespan. And that's very exciting to me, to see that kind of change in the time I've been there.
And what are your initial impressions of Action Wellness when you first came back home?
Well, I tell you, I have found such support since I've been back, such dedication and commitment by staff. I think I was lucky in that I got to mentor with the former director, Kevin Burns, for a month before I started as the executive director. So what I have seen is, much as I saw in the beginning, is people who are dedicated and committing to serving the folks we serve. And also, I think at Action and Wellness, what's unique is we have a big volunteer corps. And that was very integral when I worked at Action Wellness the first time, and it still is now. And so we are lucky to have that committed staff and committed volunteers and committed leadership, not only me, but the other leadership here that moves us forward.
Now, I know you mentioned your work at Division of HIV Health. Is Action Wellness giving you an enhanced view of the illness itself?
I think what Action Wellness has done to me is given me a different perspective, let's say. Because when I worked for the Division of HIV Health, we were looking at a system, a big system. You know, we had over $48 million in revenue or in grant funding, and we were looking at a system of over 50 providers, of which one of those was Action Wellness, one of the stronger ones. And so what it has, this is to me, when you say this is coming back home, because I get to see the clients and the staff we serve from a different perspective, much more close and personal. So it means more to me. And I think because of my experience, I'm much more able to take advantage of that experience to help the people here, or to assist, right, the individuals here that we serve at Action Wellness.
And what are some of the challenging chronic illnesses related to HIV, and how would you want Action Wellness to be able to manage them?
Well, I think, as people have aged with HIV, they are susceptible to the same sorts of other diseases that affect people when they age. That is heart disease, chronic heart disease, diabetes, hypertension. Long COVID has had a particular impact on people with HIV because they are immunocompromised. So what you see is chronic illness in the form of not only HIV, but those other, what we call comorbidities as people age. And over 50% of people with HIV are over the age of 50. So we have, thank God, an aging population, but that brings new challenges as well for us.
What do you plan to achieve in your first 120 days as executive director, or I should say the next 120 days?
So I was lucky to be able to mentor with Kevin Burns in the month of June, and so there was a strategic plan in place. Strategic plan is going by from FY 2024, beginning of July of this year, through end of 2026, and so I was able to be part of that, and so that really is providing a roadmap for where we go in the next 2 years, and so I want to implement and follow that roadmap. Also, I was able to get out to our locations. We have 6 locations, as you know. So I was able to get to know staff, talk to them a little bit. I'm going on sort of what I call that world tour again at the end of next week to see the offices, because I think it's important to stay connected with the offices and the folks that aren't here. And so I think that's the strategic plan, to get to know the staff better, to get to know the clients we serve better, and to implement that strategic plan. Because I don't want to fix what's not broken, right? You're doing great. Action Wellness is doing great work. So how can I enhance and add to the value of that work? That's how I see my role.
Evelyn, I know you have given us a lot of information today, a lot of great gems, but what are 2 key points you would like for someone to take away from this discussion?
I think the 2 key points is that you can't do it alone, that I am very lucky to have a great staff, and of course, front and center of any work we want to do is putting the client, right, the consumer, the people we serve, front and center. I think the second point is that we can't end the HIV epidemic as we know it. So with a little economic help, a little funding, right, also from you folks out there, we can actually end HIV as we know it, and that's really exciting stuff.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. It's been great speaking with you today. We've had a great discussion. All of us here at Action Wellness, as well as our clients and community, look forward to all the great things you're going to do as our new executive director.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back home, and I look forward to working with you, with staff, and of course, with the individuals we serve. Thank you so much, Whitney. I appreciate it.